Alright guys, welcome back to the vlog. So today we're starting off in the garage, as always. I need to actually get the Z out of here because it's actually been a couple weeks since I've actually worked on cars, and the garage is a complete mess. I've left everything out and I haven't put anything away. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that content of just like cleaning stuff. So I need to get this car out because the Miata needs a... I don't know how to say it. Alright, so here's the story behind that car. The transmission is basically on its way out. It has been for a couple of years now. We just haven't replaced the transmission. It's an automatic 95, so finding an automatic with decently low mileage is going to be really hard, and especially one that isn't going to require service after a couple of years, or well, not service, but basically be replaced again. So probably going to end up rebuilding it. It's going to cost a couple grand, but in the long run, it'll end up being more worth it. But for now, the transmission is leaking, so trying to get that car roadworthy again. It needs a new rack, and it needs a new transmission pan gasket. Because apparently the person who did it before, they just used gasket maker, so it's not sealing correctly, so it's leaking everywhere. There's actually just a piece of cardboard underneath the car right now, so that it's not leaking. But for now, I gotta get the Z out of here, get that car in, and then we will go ahead and start the process. All right, so the Z is leaking oil. That's unfortunate. I got to figure out where that's leaking from. But for now, let's clean this up and get the Miata. All right, so this car is in a rough condition, but let's see if it starts. All right, this is technically straight on the steering wheel, but I'm not gonna let it warm up too much because I don't want the transmission to burn my arms or the transmission fluid when I drain it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do this quickly, so I'll catch you guys once we're in the garage. All right, now all that's left is to get the car in the air, so I'm gonna jack up the passenger side first, and then we will move on from there. You wanna get your pan in place. This is just one of the pans that I used on the Z. So now you guys can see our transmissions right here. Unfortunately, I don't think this one has a drain bolt. Oh, you guys can't see. So this one does not have a drain bolt, it seems. So this is gonna be fun. Basically, you're gonna unbolt every other bolt. Okay, so you're gonna drop half of the pan and then basically just let it drain into your little tub. And then you can drop the rest of the pan. So that's gonna be fun. I will set you guys up for a time lapse of that. Alright, so as you guys saw, that was a complete disaster. I forgot that this car has a bracket that holds the, what's it called? That holds the pan up, so I missed that. But now I got the new stuff. I just have to compare it to the old stuff. But it's not looking too good because the filter looks nothing like the filter that's on there. So let me show you guys. Alright, so this is the new filter, right? And that is the old filter. It looks literally nothing like that. So I'm hoping that the reason why I bought this was for the gasket. So this won't work. It's literally just not right. And then hopefully this gasket's the same size though. Let me grab the pan. All right, so the gasket looks like it fits. It's gonna fit okay. So that's good at least. The other gasket's totally fine. It's just that it had gasket maker on it from the beginning, as you guys can see, and it's just causing it to seep out of the sides. So I'm just gonna replace it. I don't know. Maybe just clean this off, try to get a brand new kit, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, so I talked to my dad, and he said to just install what I have. So since the gasket's the same size, I'm just going to use that gasket. It's a paper gasket, so it's not as good as this rubber one. I might keep this rubber one just in hopes that it's going to not have any issues. But I need to scrape this down and then start with the new one. So I'll probably set you guys up for a time lapse of the scraping, and then I will pick it up again during the reinstallation. All right, so now as you guys can see, I'm flattening the gasket. What happened is in shipping, it gets twisted and stuff, so you don't want any creases on it. So I just put a little bit of weight on it. This is maybe like 2 or 3 pounds, just to straighten it out a little bit. It makes it easier for install too. So I cleaned up the magnets and I cleared off as much of the gunk, which was the gasket maker, as much as possible. I mean, looking at the old gasket, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just the gasket maker created ridges in it and it caused it to start leaking. So might keep that one just in case in the future. But for now, flattening this, and then I will set you guys back up for the time lapse of the installation. All right, so a little jump cut, but I have around 2.5 quarts in. I don't know how much I took out. That's reserve if I need more, because it's still pretty clean. It was changed 2 years ago, but the car's only driven like a few hundred miles. So I'm gonna drop the car into neutral, back it up, and then get it on flat ground, let it run for a little bit, see if it needs more trans fluid, because you're supposed to do it when it's at operating temperature. All right, I don't even know if I'm in frame or if you guys can hear me, but obviously you guys heard the car was struggling to go into reverse, so that means it doesn't have enough fluid. Unfortunately, the Miatas don't come with a very accurate dipstick, and it doesn't have any markers on it, unless mine just wore off. But I'm just gonna add more fluid, maybe do a quarter quart, half quart at a time, and then we'll see how it goes. So as you guys can see, I didn't actually go ahead and add the fluid, or I didn't go ahead and replace the dipstick already. I'm waiting for it to burp the system a little, just get all the air out if there is any in there, which I'm sure there is. So I'm just giving it a minute, maybe a couple minutes, just so that it can burp all of the air out. All right, so as you guys saw, the car did move under its own power, so that's nice. It didn't just spin the torque converter while it was backing up. It was able to give me full acceleration in reverse and in drive, so that means that's probably enough fluid. It took about 2.5 quarts, I believe. I'm gonna look it up online just to be safe to double check, but it's moving under its own power, so that's good. Let me double check that online and then I will take it for a drive. All right, so after looking it up, it seems like the car actually takes 4 quarts, or 4.2 quarts, about 4 liters. So that means that I have to go ahead and dump the rest of that one in there and make sure that I buy more tomorrow, or maybe in the next couple days, because I need at least 1 more quart. So I'm gonna dump that in there and then we'll go for a rip. All right, so this car is filthy. You guys can see the windshield, and I don't think it has any windshield washer fluid. Let me roll down this other window, as it takes 20 years to go down. I already got this one open, but I'm just gonna take it for a little rip around my driveway. It's not that long, but I'd rather test this somewhere close by, so if I get stuck somewhere, at least I have another car nearby to tow me out. And this car has no power steering, so that's gonna be fun. All right. Oh, Lord. Okay. You guys can hear the brakes. They're rusted through, so they need, or they're not rusted through, but they have rust on them, so they need to be worn in, I guess, basically. As you guys can see, the way that the car jerks, hopefully you guys can hear me, but you guys can see on shifts the car jerks, so indicator that the trans is going out. So let's go for it one more time. So 1, 2. Yes, I don't know if you guys felt that jerk, but all right, now let's see if it goes in reverse. All right, it's not slipping like it used to. Make sure I don't hit any of the other cars. I don't know how these people vlog and drive, you know, like those other YouTube people, but I'm just gonna put this car back in its spot. And then hopefully tomorrow I can take it out on the road and get the whole braking situation figured out. Along with the steering. So for the steering, you guys can see the airbag light's on. So in cars that didn't have OBD2 scanners, so basically in cars that didn't have OBD2 scanners, they have this, which is OBD1, I believe, and basically it flashes the airbag light. So right now I'm pressing the horn button. As you guys can hear, it's not ringing the horn. So that's what happens when the clock spring is broken. So what happened was the rack was replaced with the remanufactured one. It was complete garbage. And basically what happened was all the fluid leaked out on the second day. So now I put the original rack back in after I rebuilt it, which I did mess up. I actually have a scar on my hand from that. Right, you guys can't see it, but it's like right on this like right lower part. But so yeah, the rack needs to be replaced again on this car. Hopefully we can get one for a decent price. They're like $400 or $500 because the rack on my car, my Z, is actually going out too. So that's something that I definitely need to address. But for now, I'm just gonna roll up the windows and then we're gonna hop under the car. I gotta do one window at a time because it's gonna take forever. All right, so hopefully that buzzing isn't annoying. But basically, I'm just gonna check under the car one more time and then I'll outro the video and I will catch you guys in the next video, basically. So let's hop outside real quick. All right, so looking at the driveway, there is no indication of any spillage anywhere. And there is a cardboard piece down here, but let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to see, but there's no fluid. There's absolutely no fluid down there. There's just the dried up spots from a couple days ago. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow, hope that there are no other leaks, and then we'll move on to the next project. If you guys like the video, make sure you leave a like rating on it and subscribe for more content almost weekly. I took a 1 month hiatus a couple weeks ago for you guys, so I'm sorry about that, but I just wasn't able to pump out the content because I had class and I had other stuff to deal with. So I will see you guys in the next video, and take it easy, guys.